Hey, welcome to Seven Figure Business Secrets, and look what I just got. So enough of that, but it's my new suit, right? A new suit, it's my secret pleasure that I get to do once, twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times a year. I get to go and buy myself a nice suit. And okay, I spend quite a bit of money on them, but I don't look upon money as expensive. I look as these suits as incredible value. Ever since I had an episode about 15 years ago of where I actually bought what was at the time I thought a cheap suit. I saved myself about €400. Walked into one of those the place. I still remember I walked in and they'd suits everywhere, loads of different suits, and all like €300, €200, €15 off, all of this type of thing. You know the place. Suits are us. And the guy came up and measured me, and I picked a suit that I thought was great, and walked out really happy with myself because I'd saved quite a bit of money. 400, a lot of money versus this, that's for sure. So all fine until about 2 weeks later. Leave my house, and for whatever reason I just thought, actually I don't like the shine. I started looking at there's like a shine that I wasn't used to of it, and then I thought, actually I don't like the look of it, and I realised actually it's broader, it doesn't quite fit me as well, and I looked at, well, maybe I didn't, but I felt a bit chunkier, not looking as good in it, and it all just, it just didn't seem right. And I remember going to work that day, and the whole day it bugged me. It just bugged me. I thought everyone was looking at me and I wasn't going, and it played in my mind. And so it sat in the wardrobe, and a few weeks later, of course, all my other suits were in dry cleaners. Had to wear this again. I got the same feeling that I don't want to wear it. But I had to anyway. And you know where I'm going with this. It's basically, I saved myself quite a bit of money. But I still spent probably €300 on something that I only wore probably 1 or 2 times after that, because I hated it. It was probably one of the most expensive suits I'd ever got, because it probably cost me €100 or €200 a wear. Just very expensive. Whereas typically I spend a lot more, but it's whatever, €2 or €3 a day. You get what I'm saying. Well, the exact same is true of how we actually spend our time running our businesses, or the advice we get on our businesses, because there's the temptation all the time to actually cut corners. And do you know what? I could save a few €100 if I did this myself. Do you know what? I can get the same advice much cheaper online, free here. And I've been so guilty of doing that. I've actually gone and designed my own websites. I've gone to try and pretty up PowerPoint presentations. I've gone, you name it, I've tried to do it myself. And sometimes it's worked. Often it's not, and I've had to go out and get advice in anyway, and get it fixed after my poor attempts. And nowhere is this more important than when it actually comes to the important money-making aspects of your business. And if anything, this is what I want to get across to you guys, is there's a huge difference between something that's expensive, as in costs a lot of money, and something that's valuable, right? And the difference about something that's expensive is actually, there's a price tag, a price focus on it. But actually, something that's valuable, the price tag is almost immaterial. To give you an example, if I said to you, listen, I'll give you 2 options. You give me €2 and I'll give you €4 back, or you give me €100 and I'll give you €200 back. One is a much more valuable proposition because you'll get €100 profit out of it, yeah? Whereas it's more expensive if you measure it by monetary terms. And what I'm trying to get across is, listen, the monetary terms, when you're talking about making money and in your business, are not half as important. In fact, they don't even figure on the radar when it comes to measuring the outcome. It's all about the outcome. Just like if someone says, or if you need to, say, get more marketing advice, if you knew that if you had the right information, you could double your business, yeah? Well then, how much is doubling your business worth? If your business is currently $500,000, you can take it to $1 million. Well, doubling your business is actually worth $500,000. So the sane people amongst us, right? And I'm not that sane, but if we put all the emotion aside, we would go out and we would find someone who up to $500,000 who would be able to give us the advice and the help to get our business from A to B, right? And there's quite a lot of them around, right? And a lot of them are very willing to, yeah, especially for that amount of money, they'd fly across the world and sort out your business. The problem is actually us, is that we go back into the, oh, hang on a second, that sounds like a lot of money, and we start thinking of expense again, right? But what I want you to start thinking about is actually the cost of not getting that help, the cost of trying to do it yourself, and the worst thing is the cost of free advice. One of the things that I did starting off my business, actually starting off my first business, was I used to read a lot of blogs and a lot of things, and it all sounds great, and I'd start trying to implement it, and you'd realise, not for 6 or 8 weeks, that actually what they're talking about was just wrong. It was just, it sounds great, but actually it was it wasn't worth. It was just someone's opinion. They'd never actually done it before. Lesson 1: check and make sure that people have actually gone and done what they're talking about. But the worst thing was that it wasted 8 weeks of my own life, right? Not only did I not advance my business forward, but I wasted 8 weeks of my own time doing stuff that it was just counterintuitive. And it was only when I finally started investing in myself and investing in proper advice that things took off for me. And one of them was actually, at the time, it doesn't sound like a lot of money now, but it was a hell of an amount of money back then, was actually sort of getting some advice on this new thing at the time, which was sales funnels. And I spent, almost $2,500 when I had nothing, no money, no income, on a consultant to actually take me through and build me my first sales funnel. And I can't, at the time it was horrendous, and the suit thing kept coming back to me. Surely I could build it myself, but I knew at this stage, no, put the time in, and I'll get it. And sure enough, I got my sales funnel, but I got so much more than that. What I actually got was someone's expertise, had been there and done it, and all of these bits that I didn't even know about was bump, all put in for me. And it was like, Keith, I need this, and this from you. Tell me what you talk about. And I had the back and forward going, no, you're phrasing it wrong. And he turned it all around. And lo and behold, I had a sales funnel, something that I could actually work with and use. And it was worth so much more to me than that $2,500 to actually just have it there and done for me and all working. And I suppose from that, and that was a very business type thing, but from that, my thinking around self-development, up until then, had basically been, well, if it's not an official type certification course, I'm not going to put in. And I realized that actually I'd been underinvesting in myself. So there, I actually decided I was going to fly one of the best guys in the world. I flew all the way across San Francisco, paid quite a bit of money to actually attend essentially a self-development course. And I have to say that was one of the biggest eye-opening moments. I realized actually that there are a whole pile of stuff that I just didn't know. You don't know what you don't know, but there's stuff about me that was holding me back. And it was only when I was willing to look past the expense and the dollar value and start looking at the outcome that I realized actually, there's no point going on or reading a few blog articles and taking a few cheapy courses and, what can I afford? And it all became about, the more I can afford, I'll invest in myself to get a better outcome. And once I started taking that view in the world and the self-help, and not only me, well, I feel that me and my business and everything else just took a completely different course. And it was hard for me to initially get over my afraidness of spending money and stop focusing on expensive and start looking at well, no, what happens if I don't invest this amount of money? The more, and the attitude I've now got is, well, actually, if I know there's going to be an outcome, so if I know I'm looking for an outcome, which, let's face it, we all want an outcome, either monetary or something in our lives to improve, well, the better the outcome I want, the more money I'm actually going to invest, or the more time I'm going to invest in that to get the outcome. It's not about expensive anymore. It's if I want to make more money, if I know I can invest €2 and get €4 back, well, I'm going to be asking, well, hang on a second, can I invest 2,000? Can I invest 100,000 and get 200,000 back? That's the game that I'd like to start thinking about. Are you holding yourself back because you've got an expense versus valuable mindset? And if so, why not try and balance it out? Start thinking about where are the aspects of your business that you actually want a better outcome, and what is it that you need to invest in to actually get you that better outcome. And once you figure out that basic, then go and look for the most valuable solution to that. Forget about the price tag. Look about the most valuable solution, and maybe that valuable solution has got a very large ticket price at the moment that you can't quite afford, but make that your goal. Make it your goal to actually be able to hire the world's top consultant to actually be in your business, to put the hand on your shoulder and show you how to do it. Maybe you need to be hiring the world's top trainer to get you to your fitness goals, or the top health surgeon in the world to be able to get you to your medical goals. Whatever it is, start looking upon things about not, how am I going to get that cheaper, but how am I going to afford to get the very best outcome for me and my business. Right. Hope that helps. I'm off now to go and try on my suit again and make sure the wife actually likes it. See you then.